Hi, welcome back to the Adventures of Dementia Man. I'm Heather.
And I'm Mark.
Today we just sat down because we thought we'd talk to you a little bit more about daily life. And I suppose the background behind this is that we were chatting recently about the fact that a lot of people say to you things like, oh, you look absolutely fine, you must be doing okay, or you don't look as if you've got dementia at all, or things like that. You don't. What does somebody who's got dementia look like? And it's this thing that happens, I think, with a lot of invisible illnesses or so-called invisible disabilities, that sometimes people aren't really aware of what life is like behind the scenes. And of course, if we're doing a social media video where we're climbing a mountain path, it looks as though everything's absolutely hunky-dory. So we thought we'd talk a little bit about what daily life is actually like behind the scenes. So, Mark, you've jotted down a few notes. Start us off by just talking about one or two things that are much more difficult for you now than they were maybe before you had dementia.
Good one. I think I'm having to think more as to what I want to say and how to say it, and things like that.
Things take a little bit more time.
They do indeed, yeah. Because I'm just sometimes I'm going too fast or too slowly, I suppose. So it's life in a sense. I don't know what it's like.
Slowing down some of the daily tasks, like when you're speaking, you sometimes have problems finding words.
Yeah.
Because your brain isn't quite catching up with.
Yeah, writing things can take me a good while to get the words I want to say.
I was using the example a bit earlier of, for example, this morning I said to you, we'll just go and jot down a few ideas for our video, and that's a really easy thing to say. But of course, it's not as simple for you as just jotting down a few quick ideas. It takes a lot longer than that.
It does, yeah. I need to think about it, or sometimes I just rush into it as well. But I try to get it done.
One of the things we've learned, I think, over the last couple of years is to just slow things down a bit.
Yeah.
And we're both people who in our business lives have been very boom, 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 get things done. We've had to be. So we're learning now to just slow things down a little bit when you're talking or when you're writing. And it's that thing that, people will sometimes say to you, or text me the info, which you'll do, and it's not a problem, but it will take you maybe half an hour instead of the 30 seconds.
Yes, yeah. If somebody's asking me something like that, I'll be probably getting a bit annoyed or something, or probably not annoyed, but just thinking,
it's going to be a bit more of a challenge than you realise. But it doesn't mean you should stop doing it.
No, not at all. I mean, I'll keep doing it until I've got it right. In a sense, I'm trying to write something. I will, and certainly I'll get Heather in as well. Like, how do you spell this and things like that? Because my spelling's not the best now.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have been doing some exercises to help.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And you talked a little bit about, well, I suppose this is all the same thing. You talked a little bit about public transport and a little bit about things around the house. And I suppose what it comes down to is having to accept a bit of help more than you would have had to in the past.
Oh, definitely, yes, yeah. There's things I can't do now. I can't drive anymore, and I need help with in public transport, which can be good or bad.
Depending on the day.
It does, yeah.
We've had some great experiences and some terrible.
Yeah, we had a great one yesterday, or a couple of days ago, didn't we? It was
very helpful.
He was lovely, yeah. He was lovely. And then there's other ones.
Totally grumpy.
Really grumpy, and and it's scary actually, because I can't process things as quickly as other people can do it.
That's a really key point, isn't it? People don't realise. So if you've got a guard shouting instructions at them, like, where's your ticket? What they don't understand is that they can shout all they like, but you can't do it as quickly as they want.
Yeah, exactly. I understand they've got things to do, as it were. Get the train on, going, which says things didn't come. Yeah, that's right. So it's just keeping it cool.
Well, I suppose for some people, the temptation then would be not to do that, not to go out on their own. Don't go very far. No. But not to do it at all, to stay at home and to feel sad, really.
Yeah. And I mean, it's sort of an example is that I went to see The Suite, which I like.
You don't know music, obviously.
Yeah, it's always music. And so I wanted to see them. I've seen them before, but I wanted to see them again. And so my daughter took me to the venue, and then when it was over, Heather came and got me.
Yeah, in the park. You'd have taken yourself there.
I would have done.
Come back again.
No problem. But it's
But because you were prepared to accept that help, you got to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I think is the most important thing.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Exactly.
And I suppose that's something you learn over time. And I mean, what would you say to people who are really struggling with this whole thing about having to accept help when they've been very independent? Because I mean, that's something that you found difficult as well. Right?
Yeah. Get the what's the word I was going to say there? Support. Get the support. If it's there. I mean, I can be difficult.
Well, we're all difficult.
Yeah.
It's also a learning curve for myself as a carer, like when to step in and help. And we've got a lot better at communication about that. Because of course, the key thing is if you will ask me for the support, then I'm not butting in where I'm not wanted.
No.
But I am there. So that's communication is quite helpful.
Yeah.
And you've written down here that you have good days and bad days, like everybody.
Yeah.
So it's just another complicating factor, really.
Yeah, it is. Yes. Yeah. I mean, if I'm really tired or something like that, that go and just want to go back to bed now.
Sometimes you do. We've spoken about this before on this channel. Is that sometimes the best thing to do is to just go and have a nap.
Yeah.
And then you feel, a lot better.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Get back on with the day, and just because you wouldn't have done that 5 years ago, if that's the right thing to do today, just do it.
Yeah.
And for carers as well, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because you've had to have a bit now and then,
Absolutely. Yeah, if I need it.
Dealing with me.
That's not my dementia, that's just dealing with you.
Yeah, very true.
I was going to say something then. What was it? Oh, yeah, I know what I was going to say. I mean, people will sometimes see videos of us. We try to get out and about, and we talk a lot on this channel about the fact that we do try to get out and do things that are fun, not let dementia overtake us, really. But of course, what people then don't see, they see us out having a nice walk in the countryside, and what they don't see is the fact that probably took us longer to get ready in the morning than it would have done. But I was the person who then had to drive out to the navigating and work out where we were going and pack the picnic and things like that. And that I then had to tie your walking boots for you because the laces are weird on them.
Yeah, that's right.
And that I had to help you zip up your jacket.
Yeah, exactly. It's just because my brain just won't work.
But we still go out, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. I know that's what it is. That's the thing here. So we can't do anything about it, really. But I try to help her as much as I can.
You do miss it, I mean, it's just different, isn't it? You do things. I do certain things bit more now.
Mm.
But then you compensate by other things. I give you other jobs.
That's right.
Idle.
Yes,
I
indeed.
think-
Yeah, well, and Rebecca as well, my daughter.
Absolutely. But I suppose the thing is, you've just got to be open to doing things a bit differently, and you can still carry on doing a lot of the things you want to do, provided you're prepared to just adapt a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
accurate?
yeah, I think so. I think so. Good way of putting it.
Mm.
It's a different thing.
What would you say?
Life is a different thing.
Yeah, life is a different thing. That's right. But we still have a lot of fun.
We do indeed, yes. And people like our stuff, I think.
Hope so. Hope it's helpful.
Well, hope this one is also.
Well, I mean, coming back to that, if anybody's watching this and they are struggling with these things, because it's a massive change to your life.
Yeah, it's it.
Just the way you have to adapt to things.
Yeah.
What would you say to people who are going through getting used to that at the moment?
I would say get support, because you can't do it yourself anymore. Basically, you can't do it. Probably don't curl up too much. Do the things you like doing, and get support.
Brilliant. All right. Well, we'll put the usual links for support in the UK and elsewhere, actually, in the description below. So if you are struggling with any of those things, or you're supporting somebody who is, then please contact one of the helplines below and talk to somebody direct about it. And otherwise, just try and stay chilled and do some fun stuff, even if it's just going and sitting in the garden, sitting in a cup of tea. What I meant was sitting in the garden.
In the tea.
It's about time we finish this video.
I think so, yes.
We'll be back soon when we've got something else to say. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.